Hi, my name is Ruby. I've been in Girls on the Run for 3 years. I'm a fifth grader at Horseman School, and I'm 11 years old.
Nice to meet you, Ruby. My name is Maggie Fazeli. I am a magazine editor, a fitness trainer, and a writing coach, and a very long-time fan of Girls on the Run.
How did you decide to become an editor for Experience Life magazine?
Oh, that's actually there's a long answer to that question, which is a great one. I have been a journalist for almost 15 years now, longer than that
Cool.
maybe. And for a very long time, I worked in very hard news. I worked as a political reporter, a breaking news reporter, a crime reporter, and I learned so much about the world and about myself doing that type of work. But as you can probably imagine, being a crime reporter, it takes a lot out of you. And I was starting to feel really burned out, and it was taking a lot out of me to only see the worst parts of humanity and the worst things that were happening in the world. And I was becoming desensitized to all of that bad news. And I knew that I needed a change. And just like serendipity, an opportunity came up to make a really big change. I moved from Washington, D.C. to Minneapolis and took a job at a health and wellness magazine as their fitness editor, which is night and day. I think to a lot of people, it doesn't make sense. How could you go from being a crime reporter to being a fitness editor? But to me, it made perfect sense because I get now in this job, I get to inspire and empower people to reach their full potential and see the best in themselves and in others. And I am a better person for it.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. So another question I have for you is like, what is your favorite part of your job? Like, what's the highlight of your day?
Ooh. The highlight of my day is the first sip of coffee that I have in the morning. My favorite part of my job. The favorite part of my job is when there is a story idea that I have and I'm wrestling with the best way to tell that story. You've maybe experienced this in some of your schoolwork, or if you do any writing or any type of art for yourself, you have an idea in your head and you're like, okay, I need to find a way to shape this so that other people can enjoy it as well. Because what I want in all of my work is for somebody to read it or look at it and say, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I never thought of it that way. And
Mm-hmm.
so the favorite part of my job is those moments of clarity when I'm like, this is the right way to tell that story. And sometimes it
Yeah.
takes a lot of repetition before you find that way.
Mm-hmm. So another question I have
Mhm.
is, so in Girls on the Run, we talk about how to activate our star powers. So like, how do you boost your confidence and feelings of self-worth? So how do you activate your star power?
Few different techniques that I've evolved over the years. One that's really important to me is exercise, and you probably can relate to that as a girl
Yeah.
on the run. For me, running, lifting weights, those things really help me ground myself in my own body and in the present moment, and give me such a profound sense of trust in myself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Aside from physical activity, writing for me is transformational. And
Mm-hmm.
so it helps me process and again really grounds me and brings me back to who I am. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then when like that voice that I still have, that sort of mean inner voice that is like, you can't do that. That's not right for you. You're not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, be quiet, mean voice. And that has
Yes.
become a mantra for me. It sounds so silly just like, no, be quiet. You just
Mm-hmm.
be the quiet bystander. Yours is not the most
Yes.
important voice here. So
Yep. I like that way of looking at it.
cool. Well, I have a couple of questions for you, if you don't
Okay.
mind. Number one, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Um, there's a lot of things that I want to be when I grow up, kind of like you when you're little.
I can relate.
Um, I kind of want to be like a pediatric psychiatrist. So I want to like be a therapist and a doctor. I just really like I babysit my neighbors and I love kids so much. So I want to be that, but I also this is kind of a long shot, but if I work hard, maybe I could get somewhere close to being this, but I kind of want to be the president. Um,
Yes. I,
so
I
yeah.
would vote for you. Just based on the
Thank
conversation.
you.
Count me in. I love that.
Thank you.
Um, And one more question. Tell me a little bit about Girls on the Run. What's been your experience? What's your favorite part?
Well, my favorite part is just probably like being on a team and knowing that like my girls are there and they're always going to support me, and then knowing that like they know that I'm always there for them. I also like learning about like the different lessons. They're like everyday skills that we need to have, but the coaches just make them like really fun. So we do games and we learn about how to stick up for one another. We do like sometimes we get lap counters, but like they're little cards that we read when we do our lap. Um, like, or they gave us a scenario and we had to go like run up our, sorry, run up and down our stairs, and then we had to come back and say what we would do in that scenario. And I just love like being on a team and just knowing that my friends are always there for me, and learning about all of those different skills and just having a lot of fun.
Awesome. Girls on the Run is so special. I wish that I had had something like it when I was your age. And I'm so grateful that it exists now, because those same lessons that you get so much out of, we as coaches, every time we do those lessons, it's like, oh, that's a good reminder. That's a
Yeah.
good reminder. I can put that into my own life as well.
Hmm.
It's so cool.
Well, thank you, Maggie. It was really fun learning more about you and learning about your life.
Thank you for taking the time to ask me all those wonderful questions. It was a pleasure meeting you, Ruby.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you.